All right. That sounds like a good idea that it worked.
Uh-huh.
All right, let me pull out my trusty notepad. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's up, YouTube? It's your man CB, Coach CB, in my full cold weather apparel. Today we got a special video today. We've got a very, very powerful influencer in the St. Louis basketball community, St. Louis sports community, Mr. Drew Simmons. You can say hello.
What's up?
Um,
What's up, YouTube?
he coaches McKinley basketball. He's been at McKinley for a long time, um, longer than I was there actually. Well, longer than I was in high school there. I was there for a long time actually. So we're gonna interview. We're gonna go on and get started. The first question I got is, what is one piece of advice? What is one piece of advice you would give to your old self when you first started coaching?
Uh I'll have to tell myself to be patient. Um, coaching has really taught me the 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 level of patience that you gotta have with, each individual that you come across. Whether if it's a male or a female. I coached on both sides of the ball. So um getting into the coaching game, you think you know as much as you think you know just from experience of playing basketball, but it takes a whole different level of experience and understanding and even teaching to to get to a place where you feel like you can impact the game in a way. So I would definitely tell my younger self to just be patient and stick it out and just learn from every experience that you do have.
Okay, so you feel like when you got that patience, everything started getting a little bit easier.
Yeah,
That's
definitely, definitely.
that's good. All right, the next question I got is, what have you learned? What have you learned throughout the years? Since you've been a coach, now you've been coaching for how many years you've been coaching?
This will be going on, well, high school wise. This would be my 11th year. Just overall experience. This will be my 16th, 17th year.
That's a lot of years, right?
Yeah.
A lot of experience. So yeah, what would you say that you have learned from that experience about yourself? Um, what would you say?
Um, I mean, the list is long. I will honestly say I learned a lot. Experience a lot. Just learning the highs and lows, how to manage the game. From a coaching standpoint. I think my biggest thing that I had to learn was the fact that I had to adjust from being a basketball player to being a coach. My emotions are invested a lot. Um, and when I was younger, my emotions got the best of me sometimes when it got, down to some certain situations. But I've learned to overcome that. I learned to, to give, my players, the freedom to go ahead and make, the tough decisions that, you know, uh, sometimes I wouldn't have made as a player myself in my young age. But just managing the managing the losses, learning that every time that you lose, there's always a lesson in a loss. And then, like I said, there's a lesson in the victory also, because you want to teach consistency with your players as much as you do, as much as you can. Um, but just just the networking of coaches also, I've learned a lot also, just from piggybacking off of coaches that have won many of games, and just piggyback off coaches that maybe lost a lot of games. But every time that you talk with somebody, you gain a sense of experience, and you always want to take a little bit and try to implement it to your system. And over the years, it's like I said, I went through the highs and lows, but it made me a better coach, it made me a better person in the end. So it's an ever growing process of learning, with coaching.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that answer. Because that's one of the big beliefs that I try to spread on this channel and my other channel, CB's Territory. For
Mm-hmm.
listeners, y'all can go to that one. But definitely like that when you're trying to get something in life, like you're trying to grow as a coach or you're trying to grow as a person, like it's that process of learning of it's not just the end result, but it's that process of learning that helps you grow and that helps you
Yeah,
learn and helps you get
yeah,
better. And that's one thing that I've struggled with because like I play tennis and I just want to be so good right away.
yeah.
And I have to realize that I just have to appreciate the process of learning, to get
Hmm.
better.
Definitely, you
So the,
definitely appreciate that the grind a little bit more as you get older, especially when it's something that you're very passionate about. Again, like I said, I think my turning point was as a player. It was like when I tore my ACL and I had to learn the game from a different aspect, and that literally opened up different areas of learning and expertise in basketball. So I definitely want to implement not from a physical standpoint because you're not going to get good overnight. You got to keep working and be consistent at it. But at the end of the day, making sure that there are other facets of the game that you have to learn also. So just maintaining that consistency and never knowing like you know if I reach this plateau, I want to keep going. You don't want to stop right there and just kind of plateau out.
okay, okay. So the next question I got is probably just to hype up my class when I was there, but the question is like my senior class, we had a lot of chemistry. I felt like, and we were able to kind of change the I can't think of the word, but kind of change the
You can say
McKinley
the climate
basketball.
of the dynamic of
There
the
you go, the dynamic. There you go
yeah.
of McKinley basketball from being like, we were really struggling and kind of changed that. Um, so when we all left, when all the seniors left, and just to kind of in general, like, how do you as a coach take a whole new team of young guys and try to build that chemistry, try to bring in a new system because there was a different coach the year before you, and just trying to
Well,
get them all to buy into that system.
every year is going to be different. I've always taught myself that you're not going to go in with the same team, no matter if you do go back with, 16 freshmen or 16 seniors. You're going to have, every year is different. Um, so let's just piggyback off of you guys. You guys had a senior loaded team, and you guys paved the way for how boys basketball is supposed to look at McKinley. Um, you guys set the you guys set the standard. So anybody coming up, juniors, sophomores, or freshmen, had to fill those shoes. So let's go back to my last year. Um, I had 9 seniors on the team, and 9 seniors led us to a 18-4 season last year. Um, along with some key role players, some key sophomores. We had a couple of juniors that kind of stepped in also. So this is my revamp year. I have maybe 1 to 2 seniors, and I have a loaded junior class. But the thing with starting over is just, it gives those underclassmen a chance to step up into a leadership role. And then it's all about finding their own sense of, creating their own basketball. You guys set the standard of turning the corner for McKinley. And now it's all about whether the underclassmen are going to either take it a step further or kind of take a step back. And 9 times out of 10, they took a step further. So you guys went, a couple of games, actually a game away from winning districts to now we didn't win. We're going to win over, 12 to 13 games. And now last year was our most winningest season with 18 wins in a season. We played, almost 21, 22 games. Um, so it's all about just setting the standard and setting a goal each year and making sure that you reach that goal every single year. And we're talking about every single time that you step on the floor, you have to reach that goal. So, with my seniors last year, they set the standard real high, but my juniors and my sophomores and even my freshmen are looking like we're going to surpass that. And every single year, we're going to turn the corner. So it's going to be a challenge, but I don't look at it as like it's going to be one of those downer challenges. Like we look at it as like we're going to face that head on and, just, go through the adversities of all of that and just power through.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I really like that answer. You sound like you've been interviewed before, but
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
we're gonna go to the next question. We kind of already touched this a little bit, but like, how do you kind of deal with those like high seasons and those low seasons where like one season you might win a lot of games and then another season you might not win as many and you might have a struggle? How do you deal with that And like, do you remember or do you hone on those tougher seasons, or what do you take away from them?
You take away anything. There's a lesson in every season at the end of the day. Whether if you lose a lot of games or you win a lot of games, you take away a lesson. And like I said, I've been on both sides. I've lost a lot of games and then I've won a lot of games. I'm always going to say this: the basketball karma is all it comes around, regardless. It always comes around. No matter if you have a winning low, like a winning season, a losing season, it always comes around. But you learn a lesson every single time. So, um, the one thing that you always want to practice is you never hang the last season over the new kid's head. You never do that. Because at the end of the day, if they were there to experience it, they already remember it. So the thing is, like, you want to key in on that, but you don't want to hang it over their heads. Like, look, you don't want to be that team to have this losing record again. Like, let them establish whatever they're going to establish, and we rock with it at the end of the day. But like I said, it just comes down to like however you create your season. And I tell my players this all the time: like, you guys can be champions, or you can be, learners, but you could be also both in the same sense. And when I say being learners, like, you go through losing and you learn from every single situation. How are you losing? Why are you losing? And are you adjusting to keep yourself from losing? Those are the three things I always tell my kids. And if they're not doing that, then of course, you're going to keep that repetitive emotion of losing. But when you're winning, you do the same thing. How are you winning? Why are you winning? And how to keep that winning streak going. So, like I said, just every game has a lesson that you want to learn, and you want to pick something from that season and understand and piggyback off of it, and then just step forward from it also.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely like the point that you made about like kind of every team having its own legacy. It's like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
there were previous teams and yes, there were previous seasons, but this is your season. This is your
Yeah,
team. And so what are you going to do with it this year? I
definitely.
definitely like that idea. Um, I got a couple more questions left. One is kind of just a simple question that like anybody, could would ask, but it's just like, what do you consider a successful season as a coach?
Of course, you want to look at wins. You have a winning, successful season, but the main thing for me is making sure that my kids take away a lot of lessons, from each season. So it goes back to, how did you grow from the start of the season to the end of the season? Did you set personal goals for yourself that is going to help the team achieve their overall goal? And then, like I said, a successful season for me is making sure I've always made sure that my seniors go out either on top, with a bang, or just some type of celebratory situation. Like I said, this past year, I was happy enough to know that 7 out of 9 seniors are out of town in college. Like, they're out of the state in college. And so that was very good for me. So I've always want to make sure that, that's a very successful season. I always want to make sure that my kids have an opportunity to play further, beyond high school, whether or not if it's working or playing basketball. I always make sure that, that happens. So if that happens, that's a winning season for me, regardless of wins or losses.
Okay, okay. So I've just got one more question.
Okay.
Um, I kind of already talked about this a little bit, but like on this channel, I believe that sports they can be an opportunity for self-discovery and self-growth,
Uh-huh.
as well as give athletes some vital tools they need to succeed in life. And I'm trying to kind of encourage that philosophy to athletes. So like, do you have any comments on that philosophy?
Um, I mean, you kind of hit it on the head with that philosophy. Just, I think, like you said, the confidence and the creativity in sports, brings out the best in a player. Um, I never tell a kid in my season that you can't do something, because you have the ability to do anything. Um, there are roles, but again, you can play outside of those roles if you have the confidence and the creativity to do it. So, like I said, sports is a beautiful thing because it can bring out the best in you. It can bring out the worst in you. But 9 out of 10, we want to see the best, and that best brings about a self-confidence in yourself that's going to be overflowing for everybody on the floor or whatever sports you're going to play in. So it's always encouraging to see young athletes, just strive to make sure that they're putting their best their best effort forward. Um, no matter how tough everything is, everybody's not going to be LeBron James or, Steph Curry or their favorite sports figure. But at the end of the day, you have a platform to reach that. You might surpass that. But in your own right mind, believe that you are the best. Go out there with the confidence that you are the best, and nobody cannot mess with you. At the end of the day, you'll be fine at the end of the day. So that self-discovery, like you said, your philosophy is key and is spot on. And it's definitely something that the athletes should hear and kind of, embed in themselves every single day. It's kind of like a affirmation at the end of the day. Like, tell yourself you're going to be good and strive and make sure that you take the steps to make sure that you're going to be good also.
Yeah, definitely. I want to thank you for that. Probably something that I needed too. Because this tennis stuff has been tough, and just continue to try and get better.
Yeah.
But then also having that confidence in the things that you are good at,
mm-hmm.
and being able to trust that you can do that in the game, in the match situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I lied. I said that was the last question, but I got one more fun question for you.
Go for it.
I'm gonna ask this to every interview I bring on here, but who's gonna win me and you one-on-one basketball?
Who's gonna win between me and you one-on-one?
Yes.
You already know the answer to that.
Okay, well, see, he told you guys right here. He already said it that I'm gonna win. I know the answer. See, when I was at McKinley, y'all slept on me. See, I wasn't the most athletic guy, but I was versatile. And I think that's gonna get you. You're gonna be thinking I can't shoot. You're gonna be thinking I can't finish, and then I'm gonna just hit all of the versatility at you at once.
Well, here's the thing right here. See, that's the thing. I remember all of that. I remember you used to knock down the corner three. You used to be able to get to the basket whenever you needed to. You had the nice size up combo moves, but it's just when you facing a big guard like me, that stuff that's not gonna happen. So if we had to go to a score, let's just say if we had to go to like 7, you might score 4. That's it. Okay. That's it. But I'm winning the game regardless, because like I said, it's me. Like, none of my players win. And like I said, if you put this, you might sit there and say, "Oh, well, I beat Coach." Like, no. Like even some of your classmates, Tyrion lost, Marinke lost. So like I said, if you play me one-on-one right now, like, nah, nobody's gonna beat me. I just ooze with confidence. I'm gonna be all right.
We gonna see. I might have to get you on a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Put it on the channel. But yeah, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the channel. It's a lot of this was for the subscribers, but it's also just for me. I plan on coaching basketball and tennis when I get older. And it's like you said, you want to hear from as many coaches as you can, because that's how you learn. I'm sorry, the dog's barking. But yeah, that's definitely how you learn and try to improve and just try to get those experiences of other coaches. Just give you the best opportunity when you first starting.
Mm-hmm. You definitely, like you said, you definitely on the right path. And like you said, when you're done with school, you got to see that McKinley if I'm still there. Like I said, I'm not making, like I said, I can make that promise to you if I'm still there. You definitely have a seat at McKinley just to, kind of learn, because like I said, there might be another opportunity for me down the road, and I don't know just yet, but McKinley's like my home right now, and I always want to give back to all the alumni who's there to just give a chance to give back to the kids. You always got a home in McKinley.
All right. Thank you very much. You can say any last words if you want, or if not, we can call it. It's kind of
just like you said, we're excited for the basketball season to get ready to start. McKinley basketball will be taking place this year. Early as December. So just come check us out, McKinley High School. That's it. Shout out to you and your tennis program. Make sure you go out there and win some matches, because I do keep up with my, my student athletes now.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate once again you coming on the channel, and you have a great day.
All right, you too, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
I got to stop the recording somehow.